All right, guys, here we are talking about another episode of Black Mirror. This episode is episode 3, season 4. And wow, this is a train wreck.
We're doing good. Train wreck? What do you mean?
This woman's life goes to hell
Oh,
so
yeah, yeah.
quickly.
Okay, I was going to say, I was afraid you were going to say this episode was bad for some reason or something
No,
like that.
I enjoyed the episode, and I do believe that this kind of thing happens, especially if that technology existed. A person would be much more inclined to have to murder their way through something to not get caught.
So this is one of like my favorite. So this to me, because like the last episode and the episode, like they've been good, but like I've only seen season 4 of Black Mirror. We start every episode where I say I haven't seen Black Mirror. I'm just watching it first time. You've watched most of it, and now into season 4.
Yeah.
This totally sold me on like the concepts, because the way that the technology plays into what happens, and just like the quality of this thing. This might be one of like my favorite like things or something like that. I have 2 categories of things where like you want to keep watching it over and over again, and where you never want to watch it again, but you really liked it or whatever. And this is in the latter category.
Yeah, I would never watch this
like,
episode again.
Whew, or whatever.
Because once
but,
it's
like,
seen, it's seen.
My God, the sense of dread that this like conveyed. Like you were like dreading one thing, and then it kind of started to fade, and then there was a new thing to like distract you to like dread that, and then you dreaded the first thing again, and back and forth. It was fucking amazing. Like at one point, I was like, "She's gonna miss her kid's play," and I'm like, "Wait, she's murdering everyone!" No, that's the word.
Man.
There was so much tension and so much awesome like anticipatory stuff.
It definitely had the heart
it.
racing. You're like, oh God, you have to kill another person. Oh, you're killing him. Oh, you got seen by that. Oh, you know what's gonna happen because that person has that power and she's already something. Oh God, pizza.
No, and like the lengths that she went to and all that stuff, and like the desperation. Like I talk a lot about whether it's this or Twilight Zone or like other movies that we watch. I really like the human ugliness and like the way your own shit
literally
gets
killed
into your shit.
Like a horde of people just to try to preserve your way of life, and that's
and you
crazy.
kept being like, well, surely she can't do this, and she keeps.
And in the beginning, she's the person that is like the voice of reason, almost like we can't do this. Let's just call the police, and then kills that guy because he's going to go to the police, then kills the fucking lady that finds out she.
Let's like go into it then, right? So they hit a dude biking.
Yes.
And the guy's like, I'm cranked up on jib jabs. We have to kill him or whatever. And they don't just, and like you're saying, she's protesting.
Yeah.
And they fucking spend so long dragging the body and like all these big shots and like of showing the whole like empty landscape and all that fucking business. Fucking amazing. And then the tense drive home and all that stuff. Fucking ridiculous. My God. And now she's doing good and life's good, and he comes to her. He doesn't say he's gonna go to the police. He says he's gonna write a letter.
Yeah.
But she just feels like...
And it's kind of... Yeah. If you have your shit together and someone says anything and they're like there's a 2% chance this is going to fuck your whole life up.
100%.
You can't risk that.
I know.
And she
has to do
risk
something. And I liked that her reaction was like super emotional. It wasn't calculated at first.
Yeah.
She kind of like bear hugs him and then is like, no, don't go. How do I stop? And then it kind of like escalates into like the murder.
Yeah.
Like the first murder is always the hardest one in one of these, where you're like, wait, are you just a fucking murderer? Is it just anything going to set you off? But this was like the thing, right?
No, and like you feel for her the whole way too, because like like the first thing that it was a victim of circumstance, like you weren't even driving, this isn't your fault, and then the second one you're like oh I had to stop her screaming like
exactly. She fucking
takes him out.
And I love like it's almost like a twist. I don't know how often this happens these days, because like you would think that she's like, it's still weighing on me, I can't do this, and he's like, I told you, we take this to our graves, like that fucking bullshit. I don't know how often now people are like subverting that on purpose, but I love that she's like, listen, I kept your secret all these years. Fuck you. Now I'm too
on.
And I loved his whole thing of like, I'm sober. They say you're supposed to make amends, like all that bullshit people do.
Make amends to me, bitch.
No, that's like, that was so real and so perfect, right? Out of this whole like, it didn't need to be that good of like a fucking thing, but they made it like so good.
I liked her playing the like adult videos on the thing, because that's like. The key to a good lie is make it so it's awkward already to say.
Yep.
So like if her face changed or she got nervous or this and that, it'd be like, oh, it's because she was watching dirty film. She's embarrassed.
And I wonder if because I don't even know, because she kind of reacted to like, oh, they're using those recaller things or whatever. Oh, I don't even think she was playing on that. It was like just to smooth over. I have to get this body out of here. I have to do this stuff, right? And they were like, oh, she was in her room. Yeah, I think she was in her room.
Well, I think it's also I need an alibi. So between these these hour and that hour,
No,
I was diddling.
I was watching whatever. Yeah, no, I loved that detail very much as well, and it ended up playing into the memory machine because she could say, I don't know, or whatever, fucking like show her that or something like that.
The person said something. The lady that was the runner of the recall machine. She's like, oh, she was doing something kind of embarrassing. I don't know if she's gonna let me. Yeah. Like, it seemed like she had an option, and maybe she kind of bullied her, like, it's against the law to not blah blah.
She totally did. She did that thing. There's an awesome thing when Law and Order, when Jerry Orbach, I guess, died, and someone else switched or whatever. They got Dennis Farina in there, and he's a fucking shitbag. And he was just like, gotta take a look around the apartment. And like, are you sure? Is this okay? And he's like, we're authorized. And that's a meaningless statement. He would just fucking like smoothly be like, well, you could do that, I could come back with a warrant, but then I gotta involve a lot of people. We gotta do all this stuff, right? You just have a key, right? I don't want to break this. Is this an antique? And they're like, all right, fine, fuck, just go in. Like, and she kind of did that of like, well, once the cops, we don't like to do all this stuff. I have to do paperwork. I don't want to. And she's like, fuck, and like has her come in. I
love
dig that.
when like the flashes and shit are happening, and she's like, okay, that's everything, and like you see like oh god, am I gonna get out of here alive?
They drew that out so much too. Like I really like. It's like when you say drawn out, it sounds like that might be slow or something. But I'm a huge fan. I like movies like Arrival and like Blade Runner and like the new Blade Runner and stuff like that. There's a certain technique to like we're gonna show you. We're not going to cut to her at the door and then cut to her at her car. We're going to like show you, okay, I'm packing up, snap, 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 I'm doing this, I'm packing up, and just everything.
I thought that built the tension
so nicely. This slow thing where you're like, and then to see the other woman's face.
Is she buying it? Is she buying it?
Yeah,
is she buying it?
And like it's not conclusive, and you don't know, and they're not using cuts to like imply anything. It's just this slowly, very good thing. And then when she's there with the rock, and it like goes, and like cuts the thing, like super amazing.
And her car wouldn't start.
Which they fucking showed you.
Yeah.
That's super good. Like a lot of it's by the numbers, like filmmaking or whatever type stuff that I call out or like notice. But it's like super important to do that shit.
It is.
You wouldn't be like, why didn't her car start all of a sudden? What the fuck? Did she fuck with her car? She's good. Like it wasn't.
Oh, she's the best.
It wasn't that thing. No, and like the fucking candies and stuff. Little details about people and like what happens.
But like a thing we've had problems with before is like how did you become this? Then she like breaks into that house. She's walking stealthily like a ninja.
Right.
Like and he was a big dude. Like had he heard anything before the first strike, he probably could have overpowered her and killed her.
Because he was like, what? And then like got the hammer.
Yeah.
Got the hammer. Because they showed that guy earlier. They talk about their kid, but they don't show it. They show that he's a dude and he's like a well-meaning like normal dude or something like that. But he's like he is a big guy and he is like there or whatever the fuck. And like
had he not been taking a bath, if it would have been a shower even, because she would have had to swing from above rather than that easy swing.
Oh yeah. He was a sitting duck in there. It was fucking and the whole imagery of him and like the
sliding into oh man,
blah, 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 and all that stuff. But no, and like even just her look on like her face of like and then he like gets up and she goes oh fuck, and then like the stairs is fucking trying to sneak upstairs.
It was tension filled,
but it spent a lot of time on stuff that a lesser thing would have been like, why is this taking so long? We get it, you're sneaky. It's like, no, this is like super
the thing I would have liked them to not add in is the kid being blind.
Okay.
I don't think that helped the story at all. I think it's just a little like twist in the knife.
It was a little dig, right? Because she killed the baby, presumably because like the toddler, right? Not even baby.
Toddler,
because like it would be able to. I'm just making sure I'm using the right terminology here.
Yeah, be able to see her in its memory thing.
Well, and like even if it doesn't understand and like can't tell people, she's like, they got those fucking machines now, and then she misses like the gerbil or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was like,
I wonder if she even knew gerbils could be done with that.
I didn't, so it was a twist for me.
Yeah, that was the twist for me. When I was like, fucking gerbil, really? Damn.
And at that point, like how deep does it go? Like what level of mammal do you need? Just like release mice in there and then scan them all later and figure out what happened to something.
Like how did they even get the gerbil to think on that memory?
That makes no sense.
We put blood smell and it was like able to remember.
Gerbils are very photographic memories. Like you've heard animals can't even like remember a certain amount of time or the same way humans remember or something like that, or they see black and white.
But it was an interesting enough twist.
It was. You
knew something was
one of those things
important about it because of how they set it up so choicely.
I had forgotten about it by the time she was murdering them and all that stuff. I didn't even think that because I didn't think that the memory machine would work with it or something. So I didn't even know where they were going with it.
It made me question. I was like,
Yeah, it sets something off. Like, why are we talking about this now? How much are we developing these characters? But they spent a lot of time. I really liked the investigator lady's thing with all the different people and like the trail of like getting to her. I thought that was unnecessarily good, and all the characters were characters. He was picturesque and like the dentist and all that weird shit. And all
I
that
don't know
stuff.
how
I was
your
like,
memories work,
great.
but like you would definitely not be able to scan a photo of a memory I had of a lady and track her down to her face. Like, I don't remember shit like that.
No, it's in there. You just have to whatever the fuck.
I might not even see you like that when I'm looking at you.
I don't. No, I'm often thinking about something else.
I did think that was cool though. The technology is super amazing. And the idea that like in 100 years, like it could completely be a thing.
And that's this whole thing, right? So Black Mirror now, like it. So like. You know, I said before I started watching it for this, right, is like, I've seen all these memes, the phone's phoning you, or this fucking bullshit stuff.
Yeah.
And I see why you might say that, but I also am, like, pleasantly surprised that actually, because a lot of people, too, that I respect, including you, were like, it's good. This is a good thing you should watch.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I'm super...
The production value alone
happy.
is, like, even if it didn't have these awesome stories, like, it looks so good.
Well, and, like, each of these has done what I would have told you if you were like, guess what Black Mirror is? I'm like, we postulate the existence of a technology and then we set a dark story around it in some way to show how it's like and you're like, okay, yeah, and that's what it's been, and it's been really awesome so far. And this is like the least of them or something like that, because like it's like subtly the future. Where did this take place? Was this like New Zealand or fucking Ireland or whatever? Like, where were we?
I thought
I couldn't place all the accents and shit.
I thought it was a New Zealand thing.
It felt Brittany or something somehow, but
I don't know.
It was weird. It was a weird mix of like accents and characters and all that stuff. But yeah, unnecessarily good. Better than it has any right to be. Got the kids at the end singing about how we didn't have to be this way. We could have been some other way or whatever the fuck.
And then like the tears coming down her face, like really great cap as the police are like, this lady, blah blah blah.
Yeah, like
she's crying, loving her kid. Yeah,
I love that because
she ruined the lives of so many people.
And it was not like an over the top weird collapse. And and when she gets there, she has a little banter with the husband, where he's like, where she's like, I had a glass of wine. And he's like, oh, you fucking a whole vineyard or something like that. She's like, sawed off, go in there, and like, oh, it's cold. And she's like, normal shit, and you're like, oh my god, she's a psychopath. This is amazing. But then she does break down. But it's partially right because she's like getting caught, because it's all like, it's like on
unwinding.
It's like on Cops when the person's hanging out the window, no, and like freaking out. It's like Fargo, and he's like, "Oh, go me!" It's that weird, desperate, like it's over, fucking shit. And that's super hard to like, for someone, I don't know about you, but for someone like me who's like seen a bunch of shit and is fucking over it, to like, to like hit me that much or whatever. I was very much like, this is.
I think it would have been easier for her just to push the car off of a cliff on the way to her house than it would be to have done all the things she did. And I don't know like if she had a rationale as to why to not try to do something like that.
Yeah.
But had she been able to get the car started, she could have just got it to the cliff and drove
I know.
off the edge.
Right, there's probably like
it would have seemed cut and dry.
There's
I don't know how much
probably,
investigation would have been done into it.
Probably a lot better ways to solve a lot of this, right? You could have just called the hotel and been like, this guy came here. No, I used to know him. He started talking crazy. He attacked me or something like that or whatever, right?
Maybe.
I don't know. If they have memory machines, is that a whole thing?
And she took it through like a cart where like the body was exposed on the bottom.
You could see the hand
and like
stuff.
she walked it all the way through the hotel. Like surely there are cameras in the hotel.
Yeah.
And then like left the cart on the bottom floor like of the garage. Like a lot of that I was like, like clearly she wasn't gonna get caught, but like these are the things where I'm like, oh my god, you're gonna get caught. Oh my god.
More of the tension, right? Oh, and when she calls her like house. When the body's in the back and the camera's like moving to like show you it, and she's like, no, don't put him on. Hey, honey, and all that fucking shit. I was like, oh, that's amazing. That's fucking beautiful. No, it's good because like it wasn't this cliche story of like she's built this empire on the backs of her misdeeds. And
no,
she was a good enough person. Coming back to pay for and do all this stuff, right? She tried to do the right thing, but she went along with someone, and that didn't even come back to haunt them. It was him, and then this whole natural tumbling of like the dominoes. Oh, man, I don't know. This is like a 10 out of 10 episode for me. Yeah. I'm super into this.
All right, guys, so that was episode 3 of Black Mirror Season 4. Let us know what you thought about it in the comments below. Don't down and fire, and we will see you next time.